Okay, so given a vertex and a focus, so let's just sketch that. Well, I can just do it on the graph. So vertex is 4, 2. And then the focus is at 5, 2. So I know that, well, I should just, okay. So vertex here, focus here. I know that the focus is always inside the parabola. So I know that this parabola must open to the right. Okay, so I know that the equation would look like this then for any horizontal parabola. Okay, h and k come from the focus, the vertex. So h is 4, k is 2. And then the a value, I use the fact that the distance between the vertex and the focus is equal to 1 over 4a. But the actual distance between 4, 2 and 5, 2 is 1 unit. Okay, so if 1 over 4a equals 1, multiply both sides by 4a. 1 equals 4a, divide both sides by 4, a equals 1/4. Okay, I do need to decide if this is positive 1/4 or negative 1/4. Because this parabola opens to the right, I know it's positive. If it had opened to the left, it would have been negative instead. Okay, so x equals a is positive 1/4, parentheses y minus k, which is 2. And then squared. Plus h, which is 4. Okay, so there's our equation. Okay, so now to graph it accurately, we could use a couple more points. So we could try plugging in y values and calculating x's. So let's try making y 4. Okay, so 2 squared is 4. 1/4 of 4 is 1, plus 4 is 5. Okay, so when y is 4, x is 5. So 5 comma 4 is a point on my graph. Okay, and then using symmetry, I know that, well, axis of symmetry, I know this parabola again opens left and right, so the axis of symmetry would cut horizontally through the vertex, so the line y equals positive 2. And then using symmetry, if there's a point 2 units above over here, there's also a point 2 units below. Okay, so something like that. Okay, direction of opening, it opens to the right. Length of latus rectum, so 1 over a, absolute value of 1 over a. In this case is absolute value of 1 over a is 1/4. Okay, so 1 divided by 1/4 becomes 1 times 4 over 1, so 4. Okay, so next one, here we're going to have to complete the square. We've got the x by itself, or I mean there's only a single x term and there's a y squared. So why don't I move the y to the other side? Okay, so to complete the square, my goal is to turn this into a perfect square binomial, and half of -10 is -5. Okay, so in order to form this perfect square binomial, -5 squared means I must have added an extra plus 25. So I'll do that to the other side as well. Okay, so now I need to move the 24 over. And then get rid of the coefficient by dividing both sides by 8. Okay, so dividing by 8 is the same as multiplying by 1/8. And then negative 24 divided by 8 is now negative 3. Okay, so our center h comma k, so h is negative 3, or sorry, not center, vertex. And then it's y minus k, so y is subtracted by positive 5. Okay, so I know this parabola opens to the right because, well, first of all, it's left and right because it's x equals, and then because it's a positive a value, it opens to the right. Okay, so the axis of symmetry cuts horizontally through the vertex, so the line y equals 5. To get the focus, I need to do 1 over 4a. So a is 1/8, so 1 over 4 times 1/8 becomes 1 over a half, which becomes 2. Okay, so the focus is 2 units away from the vertex, and again, the focus is always inside the parabola. So 2 units to the right, because it opens to the right, would be the focus. So 2 units to the right of negative 3, 5 would be negative 1, 5. Okay, length of lattice rectum, so 1 over a is 1/8, so 1 over 1/8 becomes 1 times 8 over 1, which is 8. Okay, so to graph it, we've already got the vertex, and then we can just calculate a few other points. Okay, so I'm not gonna show that, but something like that.